Hello and welcome to Chat Corner. My name is Wendell Mitchell and today we're going to be chatting about let us remember the first miracle. And everyone knows the first miracle is Jesus turning water into wine. And just to recap the story, he was with his mother in a wedding in Cana and they ran out of wine. And back in those days that didn't happen. That is a bad thing to have happening. Because that is real embarrassment. It's not like in Trini, when in a Trinidad wedding, you don't know how much wine to put because people storm and it have plenty rum corks. No. You invited the guests and you didn't bring enough wine. That is embarrassment. So Mary, knowing who Jesus was, approached him to do something about it. And he said, "Woman, my time has not yet come." But still being an obedient son, he still agreed to do it. And so he called those around and told them, "Fill those jars with water." And when the steward dipped into the water, it was, sweetest wine, better than Trini homemade wine, sweetest wine that he could ever taste, better than all the wine he had tasted before. And he said, "Wow, these people wait till the last to serve the best wine." Now, that miracle, it was very important because it was really the first outing the disciples had with Jesus. So you can imagine they left everything to follow this man and all these sort of things and were wondering, did we make a mistake? But after they saw that miracle, they were convinced Jesus was the real deal. And this miracle is one of the most popular miracles, although it's the first miracle he did, and he did many more after that. It is probably one of the most popular miracles. In fact, so popular that they even have some jokes about it. One of my favorite jokes is this man was driving out of church and he was swerving a little bit, so the police said, like this man drunk. So they stopped him. They said, "Young man, what is that you have in your mug?" He said, the church was hot. And, I was a little thirsty, so I have a little water in here. They said, "Come, bring that mug, let's see." And as they sipped the mug, they said, "But this is wine." And the young man said, "Wow, Jesus did it again." So, that miracle of turning the water into wine. And I just want to focus a little bit. Now, the story is in John chapter 2. But in John chapter 2, verse 5, there's something that we often ignore about the miracle. Because after Jesus agreed to help, his mother said to those around, "Do what he says." And that reminds me of a game I used to play when I was growing up called Simon Says. And those of us who know the game is that somebody is calling out commands, and if he says Simon Says, you do the command. If he doesn't say Simon Says, you don't do the command. So if he says, Simon says jump, and you jump, you're still in the game. If he says, stoop down, but he didn't say Simon Says, and you stoop down, you're out the game. So, I want to say, let's play a different version of it. Let's play the Jesus Says game. That's how you stay in the Christianity game. Jesus says. And what does Jesus say? Jesus says, "Love the Lord your God with all your heart, mind, soul, and strength." You do that, you're still in the game. Jesus says, "Love your neighbor as yourself." You're doing that, you're still in the game. Jesus says, "Go out there and make disciples of men and bring people in. Let your light shine." Go out there, make disciples of men. You're doing that, you're definitely still in the game. But that's only half of the Jesus Says game. Because some people do things that Jesus didn't say. And sometimes we take on the world. You have one foot in, one foot out. So, you hear people say, "Get rich or die trying." So here now, you're doing whatever you have to do. You're stomping over whoever you have to do. You're mashing up whoever you have to mash up to get rich. Or, you hear them say that they go out there and you're too busy for church or whatever because you have to be making that coin. So, You don't have no time for church. You're doing what the world says because it's okay. That time you could be doing a hustle and making money, and you're out of the game. Or the world says do them before they do you, and you disqualify yourself from the game. So let us play the Jesus says game. How many of us have missed out on our miracles because we did not do like those people in the room did and did as Jesus says? Yes, it happened because of Jesus being who he was. But the other part that we miss about the miracle is that they had to do what Jesus says. So as we reflect on the first miracle, I want us to remember that we must do as Jesus says so that we will not miss out on our miracles and our salvation. Thank you for watching.
It doesn't add up. I know it comes from above. I've got miracles on miracles, a million little miracles. Miracles on miracles. Count your miracles. 1, 2, 3, 4. I can't